What if I told you that the theme of next year's Met Gala was just announced? Super fine, tailoring black style.
Lord, y'all are setting people up to get canceled. I can just see Anna Wintour in just a big old fro with her glasses on. Girl, y'all are setting these people up.
Hey, my name is Sam Sanders. Thank you so much for checking out my show. Perhaps you have no idea who I am, so I will tell you. I'm a podcast and radio journalist who has covered all kinds of stuff for over a decade. I've covered politics, I've covered breaking news and business and tech, but what I love the most is the entertainment and the pop culture and the fun stuff that we enjoy in our free time. So this show is all about that. And for this episode, I am so happy to be joined by a guest who for years has been making incredibly fun stuff for us all to enjoy and obsess over. You may know my guest as a RuPaul's Drag Race alum and winner. You may also know her as the co-host of the podcast Sibling Rivalry, along with Bob the Drag Queen. You may also know her as a political activist and a vocalist and a professionally trained opera singer. I'm talking about the one, the only, Monét X Change. Welcome to the show.
God, thank
Air
you.
horn, all of that, sirens, lights.
Okay, Bob the Drag Queen, which one is she?
What?
I'm kidding. I love Bob. Thank you for having me.
Don't cross Bob.
I will cross her. I will cross her off and out. First, I love your shoes.
Instagram told me to buy them, and I said, okay.
See, sometimes Instagram shopping is it can be so hit or miss.
This is the thing. Everyone's always like, oh, the algorithm knows too much. It's like, if it knows the right things, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Well, the drag is when you think about a thing, you haven't searched it anywhere,
and it
pops up. I'm like, what is going on? What in the meta?
Do you think the phones are listening?
They absolutely are. There's something that there's no other way that it can know that I wanted to get that I needed a new back shaver. Like there's no way that I haven't searched for it, but it's popping up in my thing. Like someone is listening to something. Absolutely.
Did you get the back shaver?
I did not get it. I just got laser hair removal instead.
You could have picked an easier option. Oh my goodness. So I want to talk to you about so much. I have so many questions.
I want to talk to you about everything, Sam.
Done. We're going to do it. Yes. But I think to start, something we quickly realized here on the show when we began to research you for this interview was that you and I have a lot in common.
Do we?
We're both church girls.
Oh, yes,
like
girl.
Church.
Yes.
How churchy were you?
I was church. So I grew up Methodist.
Okay.
I had my communion when I was 9.
African-American Methodist?
Well, in St. Lucia, so Caribbean,
yes. Okay.
Black Methodist, and so I grew up there. And then, when I went to high school, I got part of the Songs of Solomon Inspirational Ensemble, which is kind of my dive into my love of classical music. But the choir director there, Chantel Wright, she was really big on teaching us about classical and opera, but also having us do spirituals and anthems from church.
Yeah.
So we became part of this ensemble that we would compete at gospel competitions.
Okay.
We would go on gospel tours around the States and Canada. So we all all of us who were in this group together would go to church and stuff together. So then I kind of became non-denominational Pentecostal throughout my high school high school years.
How Pentecostal?
Speaking in tongues.
Okay.
Laid prostrate.
Okay.
Going to GMA, the big church conference.
There's so many.
I know.
They're fun though.
They are from there. Wow. I remember I was at the conference where Juanita Bynum did this. Juanita Bynum did the threshing floor sermon. It was crazy. Oh my
goodness.
It was crazy.
I love this.
Yeah.
I bring it up because I was raised Pentecostal, son of our Pentecostal church organist. I was in church.
Okay, so are you nice on the keys?
I played the saxophone.
The saxophone.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Oh, so your church had a budget. Because y'all had extra music. Oh, okay.
We had a whole band.
Okay. Y'all had
I was
money.
there all the time. And I remember it's funny you talk about speaking in tongues. The first time I spoke in tongues at church, I totally faked it.
Oh, every time I spoke in tongues at church, I faked it. Sorry. I did, which is terrible. But it was a thing, like, I was like, okay, I can participate in this too. And now I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I totally was not.
The first time they wanted all the kids to come to the front and pray and speak in tongues and like catch the Holy Ghost. And I was just tired. So I listened to what the girl next to me was saying. And I was like, let me say that too. And I got to sit down. Anywho, later on, it did feel real. But I bring all this up because what I found is that all of the work I do now is directly influenced by the things I learned in the church. How to think about an audience, how to think about timing and pacing in performance.
Yeah.
How to like ride an emotional wave with a crowd.
Yeah.
I do think like a lot of church rubs off in how I do this job now, even though I'm not doing churchy stuff anymore. Do you feel some church or some gospel influence still in what you do?
I think maybe the way I relate to, like, my relationship to music, I think is a lot influenced by gospel and how I sing and like a lot of those mannerisms, because, you know, again, we're just so enthralled in everything in church, and like I think my appreciation on a spiritual level with music, even albeit R&B or classical music, is influenced by that love of church and like seeing like how a song can cause an entire room of people to bust into tears and to feel the music on a deeper connection. So I think that is at the core of what my musicianship is.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's like when you're in a black church, when you're at a gospel performance, the performance hasn't hit until the audience is physically involved with it. There's a call and response. There's a communal movement. And that feels very different than some other mediums and forms. And I kind of find that like a really good church performance or gospel performance is a lot like a good drag performance, because you got to get that crowd involved.
Oh, this is true.
And they got to be talking to you, and they got to be up, and they got to be with you. Like the connection to the crowd is a big through line I see. Yeah.
And I also think just the community that I fostered in church, like just like the blackness of it all, like just how, like because I grew up in the Caribbean. So my experience was so different than African American experiences, like because I'm a West Indian American, right? So like a lot of the things that a lot of like my friends grew up with, I didn't grow up with those same things because I grew up in a separate country. But because we had that connectivity of church, I learned about a lot of American Black experiences, which informed, you know, which made me like acclimate and just understand the African American experience more, because the church is such a big thing that a lot of Black folk connect with up here.
Oh yeah. And it connects. It connects.
Yeah.
You have to do a drag performance in a Pentecostal church. What's your song?
I am doing One More Chance by the Ricky Dillard version.
Okay.
And I am
deep cut.
Girl, One More Chance. Because I used to do that. I used to do that number in drag in New York City.
Wait, really?
Absolutely.
You do gospel in drag?
Absolutely. Or my big one was Sometimes You Have to Encourage Yourself by Donna Lawrence.
Give it to us. Give it to us.
Oh God. Okay. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. So I used to do that number in drag. And when I tell you, this bar of erotic, drunk homosexuals, how they would go up, and I would make coin. Sometimes I would do the number, and I made my own little tip bucket called Philip D Bucket, and I would like pass it around like a collection plate, and I would make bank doing Encourage Yourself at the bar at 2:00 in the morning in industry. It was insane. People loved it.
I love it.
And again, because gospel music, because yes, these a lot of people may not be religious. They don't, they maybe like be atheists, whatever it is, but it's just the power and that gospel music has in it, and like how it makes people connect on a deeper level than the text. You know what I mean? Just the music of it all. It was amazing.
It works for everybody all the time. Now I also hear, speaking about singing, I also hear that you do opera.
I do.
Like,
for real.
How deeply? Okay.
For real.
Say more. When did this happen? I want to know.
Yes. So I had the privilege. I say the privilege because I don't know if it happens in a lot of the cities. Maybe you can tell me. Where are you from?
San Antonio, Texas.
Texas. Okay. So in New York City, we had like, you could audition for high schools. Like, when I think about it, it was like.
I saw Fame.
Fame!
Yeah.
I'm gonna. So
Was it like that?
Well, kind of.
Dancing in the cafeteria?
Like literally,
choreography in the cafeteria?
Yes, that's what our schools were. So
I
like
love
there
it.
are like about 10 of them, I think. Well, back then, I don't know what it is now. But back then, when I was auditioning for high school, which, oh my God, it's like so long ago.
Not longer for me than for you.
But they were like American Idol style, like AGT, like you sign up for this thing, you show up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you're on this, like you're standing on a long line outside,
Wow.
and you do the audition thing. You had to do a solfege thing and a music literacy or competency test, and then you either get rejected or get accepted. I got accepted to PPAS, which is the Professional Performing Arts School, which has lovely alumni like Alicia Keys.
Oh.
Taylor
Okay.
Momsen, Sarah Hyland, Britney Spears went there for 6 months.
What?
Mm-hmm. And of course, the fabulous Monét X Change. They all went to this school.
Oh yeah.
And
what was your audition song?
oh my God, it was "Flying Without Wings" by Ruben Studdard.
Wow.
Yes.
Let me tell you a name I never expect to hear in conversation these days. Ruben Studdard, but go on.
Well, Ruben.
Go on.
Okay, Ruben. I don't know why Ruben fell off. Ruben had such a fabulous
Sorry
instrument.
for 2004.
This is my sorry for 2004.
He did it.
And I ain't gonna.
I voted for him.
I voted for Ruben too. Like
I remember when he won, haters were like, "Oh, they rigged the system so he could win."
Girl,
because they wanted Clay.
To be fair, he was going up against like a twink from North Carolina. Like they were like, "Oh, we want the little twink to win." Yeah. But I was a huge Ruben fan.
Yeah.
So
you're doing a song.
I did.
Ruben Studdard song.
I did that. Flying Without Wings. Got into the school, and again, the choir director there, Miss Wright. She was really big on, I know you guys like this pop stuff, this gospel stuff, but I want to teach you about something else that I feel like you can love as well.
Okay.
And which was opera and classical music. And like before then, I had no experience with opera. I didn't think but like she was really intentional about having us sing things like the Schubert Mass in G, the Foray Requiem, the Robert Ray Mass, like these things to teach us like this musical art form that you think is not for you actually is for you. And I fell in love with classical music then.
Really?
Yeah, because I was just so enamored by the beauty of classical music, kind of like how I was falling with gospel at the same time. And like, because like, there is, with the old guards of opera, they make you think that opera is only for rich white people.
Exactly.
And it's like, no, here I am, this chubby little fat black boy from East Flatbush, Brooklyn, falling in love with this chord progression that Chopin is putting in his ballade in G minor. Like, there's just, like, I was falling in love with opera. And, like, I remember she showed us a performance of Diana Damrau singing at doing The Queen of the Night at the Met at their 2004 production. Someone's gonna fact check me. Like, no, Monet. It was actually 2000 and whatever. Anyway, and I was thinking, like, seeing like the drama of it. The drama was what got me caught up in the rapture, honey.
Yeah.
It was just the drama of she just on this stage flinging this cape. She had these crazy devil horns, and she's like trying to tell her daughter to kill her father with this blade to her neck. It was just the drama and the vocals of it all. I fell in love.
Well,
with
this is the thing. It's like most operas, someone's gonna die.
Oh yeah.
That's in the plot. High stakes.
And I mean,
high stakes.
Sometimes it can be dramatic as Lucia killing herself, or it can be like Mimi dying from a paper cut. Like, because it ranges.
Yeah.
And then I just love how dramatic opera is, and that's why I fell in love.
What's your favorite opera song to sing?
Ooh, my favorite opera song to sing. People probably, Drag Race fans specifically, would probably want me to say Vira Viso from Sonambula, which I sang on Drag Race. Mm-hmm. But it's actually Oasis und Osiris from The Magic Flute. It literally is in C major. It is such an easy song to sing, but it's from one of my favorite operas, and it's by this character called Zoroaster, this high priestess. Priest. Well, I say a priestess because I think when they do the drag version of it, I'm gonna play him in drag.
Yeah, priestess.
But it's so simple. It's like Oasis und Osiris schenket der Weisheit Geist dem neuen Paar. Like, you're just like, it's such this low.
Whoa, hold on. That
piece.
was whoa.
What just happened?
That was amazing.
Thank
that
you.
was amazing.
Girl, you got me singing at
early
before
in the
noon.
morning. Early in the morning. It's funny. I was like thinking about opera, knowing that you like it. And I want to say my favorite opera performance in popular culture. You remember there was a Grammy Awards in the late 90s where Pavarotti was supposed to sing, and he got sick. He was supposed to sing Nessun Dorma.
And
he got sick, and they go backstage to the Grammys, and they're like, who can do it? And Aretha's like, that's my friend. I can do it. So like, are you sure, Aretha? It's opera. And Aretha goes, just let me see how he's done it before. She watches him do it once. Then she comes on the stage and does Nessun Dorma perfectly.
Wild. Nessun Dorma.
And she starts out soulfully. She's like, it's like a little churchy too.
I know. I remember this video. I love that. It's so good.
What a time.
Like, what a talented human being. Like, this woman has talent. Like, the voice, she's such a great musician. Like, Aretha Franklin was truly one of the greatest artists of the century. So good. Another one that I think like goes underrated, and I feel like when we talk about the great voices, we talk about like Whitney, Mariah, Aretha, Audra McDonald.
Yo, undefeated.
Like,
undefeated.
Though this woman's voice is touched by God. It is such a beautiful instrument. I feel like we don't bring her up in the conversation of amazing singers. And
Audra, we love you.
I love Audra McDonald. I love you, girl.
All right. We'll sing some more in a bit. But I want to ask you about some work that you're doing that people may not expect a drag queen to be doing, and that is political activism. You have a political action committee that you're a part of. It's called DRAG PAC.
Yeah.
What is DRAG PAC?
DRAG PAC is here with one mission, to get people out to the vote. And I think a big part of my mission is like letting millennials and Gen Zers know that we are the biggest voting blocks in these upcoming elections, right? And like, so I think that I think sometimes I hear them like, okay, yeah, whatever, but there's so much power in that. There's so much power to really and truly affect change. And not just on a major level with like, the big elections, like, senators and representatives and presidents, but also locally, like your alderman, your council person, like these people who are making decisions that affect you on a daily basis. The people who are making decisions about the potholes on your street that are going to give you that flat tire for the third time this month. Like, these are the ones that we should be activated on, and like and we do the information for you. Go to the website and get all the information you need, and we're just asking you to do the one thing, which is just take the 25 minutes out of your day on election day to go to the place and vote and do the thing. Okay. But so it's our purpose is to because a big part of Drag Race fans are a lot of millennials and Gen Z folk, even though I be having some boomers and Gen Xers coming up to the show.
Boomers ride hard for it.
They love the drag.
Yeah.
So, but obviously a lot of our fans are younger and, those between 18 and 35 years old. So we just want to let them know, like, hey, your voice is really big and you can make a lot of change.
Maybe 6 months to a year ago, it seemed as if one of the biggest political stories in America were all these GOP-sponsored bills that wanted to regulate how people dress and who they get to dress up around and how people get to express their gender. They were all over the country, and it was two kinds of bills. There were, bills that targeted drag performers. There were also bills that were just anti-trans and bathroom bills and such. But I clumped them all in this category of just like regulating how people present and express. That was front page news for a while. It felt like 6 months or a year ago, and now it's out of the headlines.
Yeah.
I wonder what that says about the culture. Does it mean that it's less of an issue, that folks have forgotten about it? And if so, is that a good thing because folks have made peace with it? You notice this too. We talk about that less, but those bills are still around.
Yeah. I think those bills are still around. I think that a strategy that we've seen the right use is they use these moments to blow up things like the anti-trans legislation, like the anti-drag legislation. And let's also be very clear, a lot of the anti-drag legislation, they pitch it as against drag queens, but if you read the language of it, it was pretty much just anti-trans language.
It seems as if a lot of the language and messaging around these bills conflates the two.
Yes, exactly.
And
which they're two
quite
different things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's another thing that Drag PAC, which we try to make very clear. Yes, there are trans people that do drag, but not all trans people like that is not their experience. Drag is a job. It is work. Being a trans person, that is your identity.
You are.
That is who you are. That's how you present the world. So we should also try to be very clear and educate people about that, especially the people in conservative neighborhoods and from districts and et cetera. But yeah, so we want to also thank you for saying that. Yes, they're not in the headlines. We're not seeing it all over the place. But these legislations are still going forward. They are still very present, and we are still fighting those and still sending. Alaskan Willem did a benefit in Tennessee recently,
which had banned drag performance for a while, right?
Like, why? And I think that's something that we also want our conservative millennial and Gen Z brethren and sistren and siblings to just ask the question why, right? Like, why are you trying to denigrate a group of people? Why are you trying to take away their livelihood? Why are you why is your purpose? Why are you serving to make legislation to outlaw their existence and who they are as a person?
What does victory look like for DRAG PAC? What does it look like to you?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think we've asked what victory. I think victory for DRAG PAC looks like activating younger folk, Gen Z and millennial people, and also if we get some boomers and Gen Xers too, we're very happy with that. We love you guys too. But I think is activating those people and giving, because I think even as myself being someone who's 34 years old, I think because of 2016, I've only now been, really super engaged in politics, right? Because I think for me, I'm not saying for everyone, for me, I feel like I have to. There's too much on the line for me to just turn the blind eye and be like, well, whatever happens, girl. I'll live my best life, whatever. So I think that's kind of what we want to give to younger people too. Like, it is never too early to be involved in politics. Like, this is your life on the line. These are your trans friends on the lifelines on the line. So we just want to activate them, and we're not trying to tell people who to vote for. It's not our job to make you vote for a certain candidate. We just want to give you the information and the access and let you know that you have the power to make change in your neighborhood, whether that is on a local or state level. And that's with the local things like the anti-trans and drag legislations. If you love drag queens so much and you love watching RuPaul's Drag Race and you love going and tip them at their shows, then you need to also know that you can be part of the solution in helping us have long, sustainable, viable lives and careers.
Do people who love you and your drag and love Drag Race, do they ever see the activist side of you and your work and your colleagues' work and say, we ain't asked for that, shut up and dance?
Oh, girl, I have my podcast somewhere with Bob the Drag Queen, and we are pretty unfiltered there. We talk about all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember, and on that podcast, because, the wing and the is off, we talk about, like, if you're voting for Donald Trump, like, why would you ever do that? Like, here are the reasons why this is bad. For the two people that you listen to this thing every week, here's why voting for that person is bad for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we get pushback all the time, like, because of, Palestinian suffrage and everything we're seeing in the Middle East, people are really choosing to be against the Democrats right now and not voting for Democrats. And that is, I understand, I get it. But, we are, unfortunately, and I would love to in the future, I would love for us to not live in a two-party system, right? I think, bitch, the more the merrier. Also,
I'd like 7 or 8 parties.
You know what I mean? Like, why not? Also, why is our political system, why is it 3 years long? Girl, in France, it is 3 months of politics. It is done.
I always like those Western European nations where it's like, if they just get tired of something, they'll like flip the whole parliament.
But also,
like, election today.
Girl,
we're going.
Well,
Let's
also
go.
France, they're mad. They will burn the entire city. I'm like, we are not going to work. We are tearing this all up.
Weren't they just over in France, like burning garbage in the streets?
Yes.
They weren't playing around.
But they get what they want from their government, though.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not again. I'm not advocating to tear down the KCRW studio. That's not what I'm saying.
That's not what we're saying.
That's not what I'm saying. But I just feel like I look at those Western European countries and because I think that it is kind of draining our souls that we're living in this constant political thing. Like I listen to The View every day, The Daily, and a bunch of and Positive America and stuff. I mean, I am listening to a lot of political podcasts, I guess. But like every day, I'm like, I put them on. Sometimes I begrudgingly listen, but I'm like, I'm trying to stay informed by the 10,000 things that happened while I was asleep last night, and I need to be conscious of so I'm making conscious decisions throughout my day when I'm coming here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just like, if we live in this political system that feels like it's never ending, but you need to stay informed. There's so much information all the time.
Yeah. What better way to make being informed fun than having a drag queen inform you.
You know,
It's a beautiful thing.
BDE, Big Track Energy.
I love it. I love it. What are your election night plans?
Okay. So in 2020, Bob and I on our podcast, we
Bob
got
the drag queen.
We got Bob the drag queen. Bob, if you're nasty. We on 2020, we did on our podcast, we did a live election watching with our patrons and listeners, which was so fun because the previous year, 2016, Hillary versus Trump. You know, I think we all went to that election and we were like,
I was in the newsroom that night.
Oh God! But I remember at the beginning, throughout the day when everything was coming, everyone. I mean, I don't need to retell, so we were all super hopeful. Then as the night went on, we were like. And then I had to work that night. I had a gig.
Snap.
And so I remember, by the time my gig is at 11 o'clock at night. By the time I got on stage, we all knew what was the tea. And it was one of the most depressing nights of my drag career. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I've lost Drag Race twice. Okay. So imagine. So 2020, Bob and I were like, let's just us be together with our patrons, people who love our podcast. And things were looking good. It was such a fun night. We had some people call in. We did a live stream.
Okay.
It was so fun. So we want to replicate that again this year.
Okay.
But I'm going to be in Denver, Colorado, doing a role with Colorado Opera, the Duchess of Krakenthorpe.
Wait, you're singing with the Colorado Opera?
Yes.
Wait, so anyone checking this show out right now in Colorado needs to know.
Yes.
On election night, they should just be hanging with you.
Yes,
drag opera.
Yes, we're gonna be streaming. So I'm gonna be running from rehearsal back to my dressing room, streaming this thing. Hopefully, it's a night that we will be happy with, and Bob and I will be. And if not, you're gonna get the real.
You're gonna sing either way. You're gonna sing either way.
Either way. So that's the plans on election night because we had such a fun
one election don't stop no show.
It won't. It can't.
It won't. I want to talk to you about some of your other work before we play a game. But then I was realizing, where do I even start? Because you, like most drag queens, have 8 jobs. Is this a general rule that drag queens have at least 3 more jobs than everybody else?
Well, because as a drag, you had to master so many disciplines. You know what I mean? So I come from the New York City drag scene where a lot of our shows are you on a microphone by yourself for 2 hours, right? So it's your job to entertain this room full of drunk homosexuals and queer people and do other things. So you are the writer of the show, you're the producer, you're the dancer, you're the singer, you're the host, you're the comedian. You're the comedian. You're
the bouncer sometimes.
Girl, there was this video on my Instagram of Bob having to body slam a patron.
I believe it.
At Hardware Bar one night.
Oh yeah, you're probably building your own props and set. You're
Literally.
probably doing your own clothes.
Costume.
Yeah, and a drag queen. I know this for sure. Y'all never have an entourage.
Never.
It's you with the bag.
Yeah, you see, you better know it.
It's
you know what I mean? So I think that is a direct reflection of how our careers go.
Yeah. If you can do 5 jobs on stage, you can do 5 jobs off stage.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm doing a bunch of different things. And also, I've been coming to terms and grappling of this thing of calling myself a multi-hyphenate because I do
Why are you grappling with that? You actually are.
Yeah. See, but it sounds sometimes it sounds a little pretentious to say that. You know what I mean? Sometimes when I hear a thing of someone saying that, I'm like, girl, calm down. It's too much. So I get to do all these things. So yeah, and also I just love staying busy. Even when I give myself some downtime, and I'm like, what's the next thing?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Crap,
you ready to go?
I want to do another job, man. Come on, man.
So of all the other jobs I want to talk to you about before we play a game, we've talked about opera. Actually, let's talk about your foray into R&B music.
Yeah.
Say more.
So I've always been a very big lover of R&B, right?
90s R&B or 80s? Because there's a big difference.
90s.
Okay, same.
But that's because I grew up in my house on Sundays when we would clean. We were playing the whole Aretha Franklin, Anita Baker album.
Oh, you weren't churchy enough because we could only play gospel in our house.
We did a bit in the mornings between after we got home from church.
Okay.
From 11 to 2 was church music. And then evening time because we were cleaning all day.
Oh snap!
It was.
Oh snap!
Girl, I guess I kind of went to school 6 days a week because we cleaned every Sunday from 11 to 6 p.m.
That's wild.
I know.
How big was the house?
I got a 3-bedroom house in Brooklyn.
All right.
And I'm like cleaning. I'm like in the bath. My
The
job.
grout on the bottom of the toilet.
My bathroom.
If you don't get that, your house is not clean.
My job was the bathroom,
Bam.
and I had to get in the shower, spray the thing, the Ajax,
Yes.
scrub the towel, get in the grout.
Oh yeah.
Oh, all the things.
Well, and then see now these kids these days, they want all this. Like, we used cleaning products that were the harshest chemicals. If you stayed in that bathroom too long, you would get high.
Girl,
The fumes.
I have passed out in my bathroom from a combination of Ajax and Clorox together.
Yes,
right?
and why is it the mothers always want to add Clorox to the mix? We've already got the Ajax. We already got the Pine Sol. We already got the Fabuloso. Put some Clorox
Put some
on
Clorox
it too.
in there.
What?
I don't know.
My mom used to put ammonia and
Ammonia?
Clorox in the washing machine. Ammonia. Are you trying to kill us, Mom?
Oh my God!
Yo.
But the clothes is clean though.
It's so clean. So fresh. So clean. Anyway, I totally derailed whatever you were talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about music.
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
we used to listen to R&B on Sunday evenings.
Yeah.
And Sunday nights during like Sunday dinner and stuff like that. So I've always fallen in love with R&B music, and I just love. Again, I think that's where my spirit vibrates at this. Like, it's so emotional. It's so emo. You know what I mean? It's truly that. And I just love, like, I'm the type of person at the gym, I'm not listening to, like, on the treadmill, I'm listening to, like, SZA and, like, Summer Walker.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm listening
yeah.
to, like, I'm not listening to, like, no.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
some R&B all the time. Like, R&B is my base level all the time listening to. So when it came to making my own music, I wanted to make music that sounds like the stuff that I listen to.
Yeah.
And so that's why even on my first project, Unapologetically, it's kind of a mix. I have, I start with this Ave Maria cover I do of Ave Maria.
Okay.
A little classical. Then I go into some like Sylvester-y 70s vibe with my
the
song There For
range.
You. And I go into Beyonce, which is like a club dancey song. And I end with Gently, which is a very true R&B song.
Okay.
Yes, I love R&B. I love R&B. I also love this new era of R&B with people like Victoria Monet.
She's fine.
And oh my God,
She's fun.
she just put out the part 2 of her Jaguar album.
it.
So good.
Well, and I love how she's just like an old soul. There's one of her songs like With Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes.
All of it
Hollywood,
feels like
so good.
It's like it's unk music.
It's so
It's for the
good.
uncles and the aunties.
It's so good.
I love it.
It's also just seeing her win me feel so good too, because
She worked for years at it. She was behind the
been in
scenes writing songs for Ariana
Ariana
Grande for years.
I know.
For years.
And actually getting her time in the
We
sun.
love.
One of my favorite things, I went to the Spotify Best New Artist Party, Liz Bassey at the Grammys.
Uh-huh.
And then so I added her on, we like became friends on Instagram like years ago.
Yeah.
And then so I was about to walk on the carpet, and they like brought her in to walk the carpet. And then like I'm standing here, she's here. I go, oh my God, Victoria, you look beautiful. She goes, oh my God, Monet. And I was like, you know.
She knows.
Hey girl. She's like, you look good. I was like, girl, you look good. And congratulations on everything. You are tearing it up.
The Monet of it all.
The Monet of
The
it
Monet
all.
of
Me,
it
her,
all.
and Janelle Monet need to do something together.
Heard it here first.
Monét X3.
What's that tour called? Oh, Monét X3. That's the tour. Oh, sign me up. I'll work the door.
I would love that.
I'll do lights.
Okay, you have to come on my show, Monet Talks. I would love that.
I would love that too.
It would be so fun.
Where do you tape?
We tape in Burbank.
I'll go.
But, okay, girl.
The IKEA's there. You know I like to get lunch at IKEA.
Do you like them Swedish meatballs?
Girl, yeah.
I love it to IKEA in so long.
I just go to hang out. No, listen. When I was covering politics, if I had a break between covering campaign events and I had some time and I was in the city with an IKEA, I would go to IKEA just to chill. I would get lunch, then I would go sit amongst the couches.
I am screaming.
It's very centering.
I mean, it is huge, though.
It's huge.
It's huge.
And no one bothers you. Like, there's some stores that are like, what do you need? What do you want?
Yeah.
IKEA staff, they're not bothering
got
you.
time.
They don't have time.
Girl, first of all,
Anywho.
I'm like, I got to figure out how I'm going to take this Husha home and put it together myself. That's what they're thinking about.
I love it. All right, we're going to talk more about what else you got going on, but I want to take a break here and then come back and play a game. Is that cool?
Yes, please.
All right, we're going to take a break. You are checking out The Sam Sanders Show. Don't go anywhere. If you like this and you want more, I give some BTS. I give some behind the scenes, cutting room floor stuff in my newsletter that I write every week to accompany this show. Sign up for it and we can be in constant conversation. KCRW.com/Sam Sanders. KCRW.com/Sam Sanders. Welcome back to The Sam Sanders Show. Welcome back to the world of Monét X Change. I love living in your world. It's got everything. It's got political activism. It's got opera. It's got R&B. It's got cleaning your house with intense cleaning products. Everything is here.
Well, you're a very nice visitor at the Monét Planet. You're very nice.
I like
You're very
it.
respectful of the environment here. We appreciate it.
I'm honored to be here. Can I introduce some game energy into this mix?
Yes.
Okay.
BGE, Big Game Energy.
Big game energy.
Gonna
Big
stick with
game
that.
energy.
I
Yes.
have to do one more. Comedy Works in Threes. I'll think of another one.
We love. So we've been trying to think of games to tailor specifically to each of our guests. And our showrunner, Tyler the creator, he came up with a really great game just for you.
Okay.
It definitely channels your energy. The game is called Icon or I Can't.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
Yeah. So I'm just going to bring up a topic or a story or a thing that's buzzy right now, and you tell me if this thing is an icon, which means you love it, or an I can't, which means hell to the nah.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
We'll go through a few.
Okay.
Be honest.
Oh, I love being honest. It's my favorite thing.
All right, let's begin. First up, is this an icon or an I can't? The Ryan Murphy cinematic universe.
Ooh.
Because it's been making some headlines lately.
I'm going to say icon only because.
Controversial pick.
Only because
Okay.
of American Horror Story 3 Coven.
Which one was that?
With
the Angela Bassett one.
I didn't have to finish it. You knew it. that show was so iconic, and having her and Kathy Bates and that thing together, it was.
Can't beat it.
I never watched any other American Horror Story. I've never watched any of the. Although Dahmer was good, actually. Was that him?
You got through Dahmer?
I got through Dahmer. It was a lot.
I didn't finish the first episode.
Really?
Because, in that build up to before his first kill, I was like, I can't.
I know.
I
I watched. I kind of hate watched it. Like what with this
Right.
my fingers because it was so intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bring up Ryan Murphy because his latest show has been getting some headlines. He did a dramatic series about the Menendez brothers, who famously killed their parents in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
But after the show was released, the Menendez brothers were like, we hate this.
Oh, really?
This was not good to us.
like
We don't
it.
like it. And then Ryan Murphy came back and said, the Menendez brothers should be sending me flowers. They haven't gotten so much attention in 30 years. Whose side are you on?
Oh my God.
Like, I believe in creative license, but was that the best
Damn.
response to offer to these folks that have been through it?
Here's my thing. So can anyone just make a movie? I thought don't you have to get some type of legal right from the people you were doing this? Like, can someone just
I'm
do
sure
it?
he got permissions.
But clearly not there. So who's giving this permission?
I don't know.
Like, so if I wanted to do a movie about your life, I can just do it. The Sam Sanders movie.
I'd let you. I know I'd be in good hands.
Who's playing you?
You.
Oh, thank you. I'm skinny and beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
So besides the controversy over this new show about those two brothers, Ryan Murphy has also announced his newest upcoming show. Let me tell you what it's about.
Oh God, he's also so many things about death and horror. He loves that.
Wait for
apparently.
this. Ryan Murphy's next show will be a series called The Beauty. It is all about an STD that makes those affected by it beautiful. But the disease, the beauty, eventually kills its hosts. Icon or I can't?
Okay, Icon. That kind of sounds good. Bro. That sounds good.
So you're going to watch it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It sounds like that summer when that super gonorrhea was going around New York City. That's what it sounds like, but we'll see.
And we all survived. My thing with Ryan Murphy, I think that he's obviously a brilliant creative because he's made so many hits. Going back to like Nip Tuck and Glee.
Yeah.
He's got a record.
Yeah.
A track record.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel his work lives so deeply in trauma.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
But also, what do I know? I'm not making hit TV series. He is.
He really is.
He knows what he's doing.
He's tearing it up. Did you watch Feud? I heard Feud. People like Feud a lot, but I didn't watch that.
I started.
Yeah, I didn't watch it at all.
Yeah, I should go back and revisit. My pinnacle of Ryan Murphy, first 2 seasons of Glee and the first few seasons of Nip Tuck.
I never watched Nip Tuck.
Nip Tuck is
Is it a good
wow.
show?
It's weird.
It's about plastic surgery, right?
It's like LA plastic surgery culture,
Got
but
it.
sexy.
Got it.
Yeah. Anywho, so
Okay.
Ryan Murphy and his universe of TV icon.
Like that.
All right,
that
that's fine.
SD one sounds kind of fierce.
Yeah, watch it. You gotta
I'll
watch it.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Sequels and IP reboots. Icon or I can't?
I can't. Like, we have so much. These things between our eyeballs and our ears are so powerful. Why we just keep on make some new and fun things? Like, where is the innovation? I feel like it's just so lazy.
But here's the thing. I asked this question this week of you because does it change your mind when I tell you that The Devil Wears Prada 2 and The Princess Diaries 3 have just been announced? Does that change your verdict?
That does change, because one of the things that like super iconic, but it can go hit or miss. Like, I mean, we also Coming to America too.
Did you watch that?
I did.
That makes one of us.
Oh, you didn't watch it.
I started and I said, I don't want anything to besmirch my feelings about the original, which I think is the greatest comedic film of the last half century.
It is one of the great. I think it's one of the greatest films.
It's so
Coming to
good.
America is so good.
And Eddie was doing the work.
Okay, Eddie Murphy.
Every single role.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah.
so you are.
I'm nervous. What Devil Wears Prada 2? What if they destroy it? I'm not a Princess Diaries fan, girly, so I'm like whatever. But Devil Wears Prada is a movie I probably throw it on in the background once.
As one should.
Yeah, every 2 months.
Yeah.
So so I'm nervous that they're gonna mess it up.
Did you see Joker 2 or whatever it
No,
was?
but
Foe
that
Dolly a
flop.
foe.
Floppy-ana. But again, also, I'm like, did the director want it to fail? They didn't know test screenings.
So the movie podcast I follow say that the director of Joker 2 made the movie on purpose to really piss off the die-hard core Joker bros, to make them mad.
People have a lot of time on their hands to do shit like that.
And a lot of money, too. They spent money on that movie.
Poor Lady Gaga. She got caught in the crosshairs of that.
Let me tell you, she's going to be fine. Lady Gaga. I bet she's all right.
Joaquin, the first one was so good.
Yeah?
Joaquin Phoenix ate that up, and I just had him singing show tunes in a.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So you're generally I can't
with sequels.
on sequels. Although that said, what movie would you most want to make a sequel of? If
What
you had
movie
to.
would I most want to make? Oh my God.
Wait.
The Notebook needs a sequel.
But it ended pretty nicely,
I
right?
know, but I don't know if it maybe they didn't really die. We thought they had died. And this magical notebook actually keeps them alive, and now they're like fucking vampires.
The Notebook 2 Vampire Boogaloo.
That's what I want.
Done.
That's what I want in my life.
I want a sequel to Soul Plane. Remember that movie? One of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Give me more. Give me more Soul Plane. Icon or I can't?
Uh-huh.
Met Gala themes.
Ooh. I can't. Only because a lot of us who just watching these people on our screens do this thing, sometimes half of them are not even fitting into the theme. Like,
There's never any coherent.
No cohesion there. He's like, what are we looking at?
Yeah,
I
agree.
So I say I can't.
agree. Okay, so you're an I can't on Met Gala themes. What if I told you that
I was invited? Oh my God, I love it.
What if I told you that the theme of next year's Met Gala was just announced and it might be one you like? The theme is, quote, super fine, tailoring Black style. And it's all about the visual aesthetic of what they call the Black dandy.
What the fuck is a Black dandy? Lord, y'all are setting these people up to get canceled. I can just see Anna Wintour in just a big old fro with her glasses on. Girl, y'all are setting these people up.
And you know what's the worst part? We don't have Andre Leon Talley here to check all of them.
I know.
We need him back.
Rest in peace, Andre.
Anywho, this theme, I'm going to quote from the description of the theme. Drawing inspiration from Monica L. Miller's 2009 book, Slaves to Fashion, Black Dandyism and the Styling of Black Diasporic Identity, the exhibit will feature garments, paintings, photographs, and more, all exploring the indelible style of Black men in the context of dandyism from the 18th century through present day. And by dandyism, I think they mean like dressing up, looking good, going out, being a character.
Yeah.
You like that?
I like it. I just get nervous how all these people are gonna pull this theme off. Like that gets me very nervous. I think we're gonna be looking. It's gonna be very hairy on May whatever day it is.
I got a
this year.
fix.
What?
I got a fix.
What?
For this next Met Gala, given this theme, only black people on the red carpet.
It will never happen. But yeah, also like yeah, ooh, this gets me. This is scary.
It's also very interesting for me well, on the one hand, I'm happy that they're leaning into this. I think Coleman Domingo was going to be a co-chair.
That's his very
That's
his style.
great. Yes,
Yeah.
he is a black dandy.
For
and
sure.
we love it.
Yeah.
But given Vogue magazine's iffy, spotty history on race, period, I'm like, are y'all the best to execute?
Having LeBron next to that lady on the cover looking a big
Like Godzilla.
Godzilla?
King Kong.
King
rather.
Kong, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much.
countless.
Listen, all I'm saying is, Anna, do your thing, but you better be summoning the spirit of Andre Leon Talley every day until that gala.
Yes.
Burn the incense. Say the prayers. Bring the spirit of Andre into the Met Gala. Otherwise, it will not work. It will not work otherwise.
Yeah, I agree.
What would you wear?
Ooh, I would definitely work with one of my fabulous designers, probably Domino Couture, who's an amazing designer.
Okay.
And Domino is so good at just taking like the drag aesthetic and interpreting it through the lens of Monet.
Okay.
And he just makes me, and I would definitely a suit, maybe like a really cool version of like a modern day zoot suit.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, like before Malcolm X becomes Malcolm X in the movie.
Yes.
When Denzel's just like wearing those great suits.
Yes.
That.
Yeah.
I would dandy that up a whole lot.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, are you still an icant or are you an icon?
I can't still, because I'm nervous for y'all this year at the Met Gala.
Anna in an afro. I'm imagining
Girl.
that. We gotta move on. All right, last one. Icon or I can't.
Uh-huh.
Candidates for president going on celebrity interview podcasts.
I can't. I mean, sorry. Icon.
Icon. You
I
like it.
cannot get this game right.
So,
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. This week,
Icon.
This
Kamala.
week, Kamala was on Call Her Daddy.
The View.
Tim Walz is going on Smartless.
Ooh.
A lot of folks in legacy media, legacy news are saying, they should be coming on whatever. Do you feel some kind of way about it?
No, because I feel like a lot of us are not watching things like legacy media, and so I think to reach the most people, like Alex Cooper, I don't think people realize how huge Call Her Daddy is.
Like millions of women listen to that show.
This American Life, which is one of the all-time
Classic
biggest
OG, We Bow Down.
They have about like 90,000 likes on or reviews on Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Call Her Daddy has 160,000.
I saw some stat that
Almost
said
double.
that her average audience is like 5 million people.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So it's a huge platform for people who are digesting media when they're just at the gym or when they're driving to work, whatever, in the podcast form. So I think, and it feels more like you're talking to the everyday person as opposed to, because Alex Cooper on Call Her Daddy, she's not a journalist, right?
And she said so.
Yeah.
In the interview, she's like, it makes no sense for me to ask Kamala about Ukraine. So she said, I want to focus on what this show was about, which is women's issues.
Yeah.
And what that allowed the interview to become was like a really deep dive on sexual assault, on repro access. And what I found as someone who came out of legacy newsrooms is that she was able to spend more time and go deeper. Because when you get a Kamala or a Trump in the big legacy newsrooms, they have a laundry list of questions to make sure they get through.
Get through all of them.
And Alex was like, no, just that.
Yeah.
Which kind of felt refreshing.
Good.
I don't
love
know.
that. I haven't listened to it yet. I do listen to it sometimes. I haven't listened to that episode yet. But like, I want that makes so much sense to me. And it's like you're talking to the everyday person as opposed to a prepared journalist who's going to give you trying to get like 90 questions over 45 minutes and just 3 in an hour.
Well, and also the people who were surprised about this, it's like, y'all do know Kamala launched her campaign as Brat.
Yeah.
Like, she's already leaned into pop culture. She's not going to not do it.
Because Gen Zers and millennials, we're the big voting blocks this year, honey. Get into it.
Well, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, yeah, hopefully we'll see.
All right, so we've landed on Icon for Kamala.
Yes.
And all the other... Wait, okay. Are you Icon with Trump on the podcast?
Yes. Like what? To do...
He's on podcast.
Yeah, I mean, again, you have to do your research. And when he's on here saying reckless shit that doesn't make any sense, you got to be like,
Yeah.
But if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
There you go.
You know what I mean? You can't have it just one way.
There you
If
go.
Kamala can do it, then Trump has to be able to do it as well.
Yeah. Also, just like if you're a candidate for president, your only goal is to have as many people hear your message as possible, wherever they're at.
Yeah.
So they're going to go there.
Yeah.
They're going to go there.
Yeah.
Anywho, we've reached the end of the game, and I must declare the winner, the one true icon of Icon or I Can't, is clearly you. There were no other contestants, so you win.
Thank you. I was nervous for a second.
Hey,
I was like, who's it going to be?
It's all good. Oh my goodness, we have come to the end of our time. We've talked about you. We've talked about church. We've talked about opera. We've covered some hot topics. We've done the damn thing. This is so fun.
This is so good. I want to come back.
Please come back.
Okay, good.
Will you drive to Santa Monica again?
I don't think so. I would have to be airlifted, but I would totally come back.
This public radio station has no helicopter budget. I regret to
Aw.
inform you.
Okay,
But I'll work on it.
I'll give you a year, girl. This is going to be Call Her Daddy 2.0.
Listen, call her mommy. I'm fine with
Call
that.
her Zaddy.
Hey!
Daddy.
Call her Zaddy.
Call her Zaddy.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh, my goodness. All right. Before I let you go, I do want to say to any folks in LA checking out this show right now, you can see Monét X Change in the flesh on October 24th.
On October 24th, I'm performing at Hotel Cafe with a live band doing music
snap.
for my new album, Gray Rainbow Volume 1.
Okay.
And along with some others. I'm doing some covers of some SZA songs. So
Which SZA song?
Snooze.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
a good one. That's a good
So
one.
y'all should come out and check me out October 24th at Hotel Cafe. It's going to be a really good show, and I'm very excited
I
about
think I'll be there.
it. Are you going to come?
I think I'll be there. I'll throw a bra at you.
Oh, yes. Please do.
Monét X Change, you've made my week. I cannot thank you enough. I will see you at Hotel Cafe and on TikTok. All right, that's all for this week. See you next time.